afternoon, the B word, billions. Billions of farm animals suffer. A billion is 1,000 millions. Incomprehensible. You can't wrap your heart around it. So let's take a step back for a moment. And in this short clip, look at just some one of the 1,000 million individuals. There's no blood, there's no gore, but it does pack an emotional punch. I've got good news, and I've got great news. The good news is that every 5 years, a national poll is commissioned on the eating habits of American children and teenagers, and last week, the 2010 results came in. In 1995, 1.4% of teens ate vegetarian. In 2000, we were up to 2%. That's 1 million kids in the U.S. eating vegetarian at the start of the new century. 2005, 3%. And now in 2010, 4% of American children, 1 in 25 kids ages 8 through 12, don't eat any animals. Now, is this evolving trend, apparent evolving trend in consciousness and compassion, actually having an effect on the number of animals suffering, though? Here's where I whip out the great news. In the 1950s, the number of warm-blooded animals killed for food every year hit 2 billion. By the 1960s, 3 billion. 1970s, 5 billion. Then 6 billion a year. 9 billion. And then 10 billion animals. That's 1 million throats cut an hour, every hour, around the clock, all day long, every day, all year long. 1 million animals an hour. So, what's the great news? We just got numbers in for 2009. The number of warm-blooded animals killed for food dropped. It's the first time. For the first time. We have never, ever seen anything like that in American history. Between 2008 and 2009, the U.S. population rose 3 million. Right? 3 million more people, and still the number of animals we slaughtered dropped. Maybe people are just eating more sea animals, though, or maybe we're just importing more meat instead of killing animals domestically. Let's take a look. Taking into account sea animals as well as land animals, and counting all the animals killed elsewhere and imported into the United States to be eaten, in 2006 we were responsible for the deaths of 89 billion animals. That's thousands every second. But in 2007 we were down to 82 billion, and in the last year that we have complete data, down to 80 billion. Between 2006 and 2008, the U.S. population grew 6 million people, yet 9 billion fewer animals were killed. That's a 10% drop in 2 years. So, it's not the vegetarians that are saving most of the farm animals, it's the meat eaters who are eating less meat. If we waited for the vegetarians, a 1% bump every 5 years, mystery meat might not disappear from school cafeterias until the year 2500, half a millennium away. The meat industry's biggest nightmare isn't this, it's this.
The city of Baltimore has instituted a Meatless Mondays lunch program. School officials say Meatless Monday is our way to cut costs and make sure their children eat healthier, environmentally safe foods. Critics of the plan, however, say the school district is making decisions that is rightfully belonging to the parents. Lisa Sylvester has our report.
At the Hampstead Hill Academy in Baltimore, it's Meatless Monday. The only food served in the cafeteria, vegetarian. The Baltimore City Schools implemented the district-wide policy this year as a way to cut costs and to promote healthier eating.
In every culture on the planet, there are plant-based meals, and we wanted to be able to start a conversation around that.
And has been praised by the Center for a Livable Future, a group out of Johns Hopkins University that's promoting these cartoons called The Meatrix, a play off the movie The Matrix, criticizing large factory farms. Baltimore school officials say they do not have a political agenda.
We're not the food police, and so we know that families and children will make choices, and we don't want to judge those choices. We just want to provide more options.
Parents we spoke to didn't have a problem with the new menu.
I think it's a great choice for kids. I mean, they can learn about there's other ways to eat food without having meat.
But the American Meat Institute does. The Institute represents meat packagers and processors and says that what kids are being served up is an unhealthy dose of indoctrination.
I mean, that's a real political storm in the making, isn't it?
It is, and you can expect that other school districts are looking at this example, and the question is, which direction is it going to go?